Presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. We got a hot show on a Wednesday here. Rocky Dale Davis is in the house today.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love the accent.
Thanks, man.
Maine?
Upstate New York.
Yeah. Sounds very Cuomo-ish.
Yeah, no, this is Alabama. This was, Waffle House conceived right here, baby.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right it was.
I saw Waffle House in Georgia the other day, and the building was square. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't see a whole lot of square buildings anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it was probably an old Taco Bell.
Is that an old one or a new one or a repurposed building or what?
Do you know, my buddy has a great joke about this, but have you ever seen a Waffle House being built, right? Have you ever seen one being built?
No, they're like birds. You don't see baby birds.
No.
I swear to God, you never see one being built. But there was one I was in a year ago. I forgot where it was, but it was a newer one. And it was shocking because most of them you go in, it is mind-blowing when you walk in and you're like, how long, this could have been here forever. Like those pictures on the wall, they could have been put up with the day they were taken. Yeah. It's unreal, the Waffle Houses. And you never see them being built, but they're always around. And to me, they're the best restaurant in the world.
Same. I love it. And the jukebox, by the way, is all 50 songs.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say juke anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably pretty racist, right?
I don't
even know what it means.
No, but if it's remotely close or any word ending with ER, we don't say anymore.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Well, I mean, anything
that's a good point.
Anything that's been around since Jim Crow, even if there isn't anything intrinsically racist attached to it, just being from that period now is you can't indemnify yourself from that even.
No.
Guilt by association.
I don't even know what Jim Crow is, honestly. I'm dead serious.
Great baseball player.
Yeah, he was a really good baseball player.
That's awesome. What position did he play?
Goalie, I guess. I mean, he mostly stopped.
He only wore the home jerseys, though. He only wore the home.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't playing in the Negro Leagues. I promise you that.
Oh man, do you remember Biden?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Oh, you were dead when that happened.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Was I still in the hospital?
Yeah, he said he was referring to Satchel Paige, and he said he was the greatest Negro of all time.
No way.
Left out league baseball player.
Yeah. Just skip that over altogether.
Did he really say that?
Yeah. He said it. He said, I saw that clip later, but I didn't know when it was from or whatever. None of it is shocking anymore, so I don't care. The reason why you don't see Waffle Houses being built is it takes a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Amish.
It's brick. It's wood.
Come on down for a barn raiser now.
Yeah.
That's what you sound like to everybody else, by the way. You were concerned before the show about your accent?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I know, dude, 100%. And when I drink, it gets unreal. I watch videos the next day I put on Instagram when I go out and get drunk. And I'm like, who is that? It sounds like Foghorn Leghorn. And it just gets worse when I drink. It just gets more drawn out. And then I go back to Alabama and everybody's like, oh, you're a city slicker now. You done lost your roots. And I'm like, because they think I don't even have my accent anymore. And then I go to New York and everybody's thinking I'm there for the rally.
It's
unreal.
Here's an article from 2009. Why is Foghorn Leghorn racist?
Yeah.
We got to get these cartoons, man.
Why
they're all
racist?
gone.
He's not racist. He wasn't racist at all.
I don't know.
Well, it's
Pepe
the
Le Pew
accent.
was definitely a rapist.
It's the accent. Yeah, I mean, out of all of us, you're probably a Klan member, right?
Well,
But just because of your accent.
100%.
And I have a phrase for it.
That's how people think.
It's called the I'm not gay, I'm just from Atlanta accent.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's very Chrisley.
Yeah.
Have you done a Chrisley impression on stage?
No, but that does make sense because everyone calls that. If that dude's not gay, he deals with a bunch of shit because everyone calls him gay.
Yeah.
And his accent, but that is a bunch of, this Southern accent is so weird. It goes from that racist thing to then possibly when it gets so thick, it goes into it sounds gay.
Yeah, it sounds gay.
It sounds gay.
Yeah.
You know, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You're either
wild.
burning a cross in somebody's yard or you're sucking a dick in somebody's backyard.
Yeah.
That's where that accent goes. There's no happy medium.
Yeah. Either way, go dogs,
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I'm from Georgia. And when I was a kid, my mom used to say to me, I remember I was, 5 years old, and I came home and I said, I'm fixing to go out and play with my friends.
Yeah, fixing,
and my parents were from the north and they were like, no, you're not fixing to do anything.
Yeah.
Repeat the sentence normally.
Yeah.
I'm going to go outside and play with my friends. She goes, I promise you when you're older, you're not going to want that accent.
Right.
And so I was the only one of my friends who didn't have a Southern accent growing up.
Right.
Being from Georgia. So,
Right.
Well, I grew up
Pecan,
I grew up in Greenville, South Carolina, where there's also quite a thick accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. What stopped you from having one?
I just decided, I did when I was a child, but I decided around the age of 11 or 12, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. Whenever I realized that there were other human beings on Earth and I didn't have to talk that way, I was like, oh, sweet, this is a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to sound like a hillbilly. Sweet, I can, because it seems like a detriment.
Yeah. What city are you from in Alabama?
I'm from Brookwood, so it's like a town. I think the last time Google checked it, it was like 1,800 people.
Shit.
It's like a super small town, and everyone kind of talks the same. And then because to me, I don't have an accent at all. I remember I was in LA one time doing a commercial thing, and the guy goes, "Can you lose your accent?" I go, "Actually, I don't have one." And then he goes, "Try to talk without one," and I tried, and he just goes, "Yeah, you just sound like a Southern guy trying to talk without an accent." And I was like, "I don't know what you want me to say here." And then he goes, "Well, it's going to be really hard to make it in acting with a Southern accent." And I'm like, "Yeah, Matthew McConaughey's had a really tough time."
It's in every single movie.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is Doug from New York, and it's the same accent. It doesn't matter what character he plays. He could
Well, look at Wolf of Wall Street.
He was Wolf of Wall Street, but that guy. I mean, who knows what that guy where he was from? But Reign of Fire.
Yeah.
Right. He's in a post-apocalyptic world fighting dragons.
Yeah.
Texas.
Also
Texas.
killed it, by the way. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
He's
Lincoln Lawyer, all of them. It's like, it makes me so mad when people put this stigma. And because when I first got into comedy, a bunch of people in my in like the local town I started, and they've done nothing with their lives, and they all can suck my dick. Oh, I'm sorry. I can say that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I was gonna make
Saying
sure.
the worst shit on the planet.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Hitler.
Yeah.
We can talk about whatever you want.
I always get weird. I always forget where I'm at. But they were all like assholes, and they told me that you're gonna have to lose that accent because no one's ever gonna respect you in comedy. And I listened to them for like a bit, and I tried to lose it, and I tried to be like a comic I was. And after a while, I was like, no, dude, like I grew up in a freaking trailer. This is how I talk, and like if somebody doesn't like it, they don't like it. And then you realize that it makes you unique from most people because I'm not just a regular Southern comic. I talk about different things, and I can go to a crowd of liberals in Montreal and make them laugh the same way I can conservatives in Iowa.
Yeah.
Which is a skill that is gone from fucking society where people can't, specifically comedy. You see all these idiots, all my people I know in New York, and they're my friends, but they go, I don't do the road. I don't do the road. I don't want to go make those people laugh. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot then.
Yeah.
Have fun living in your 600 square foot fucking apartment paying $9,000 a month.
And guess who's making the most money?
The people on the road.
Yeah,
Is
that's
Ron
it.
White hurting? No, dude. Is Nate Bargatze
Ron
hurting?
White was on, 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
late September.
Yeah, I talked to him when we got off air, and because he was mentioning he was probably going to retire.
Yeah, I heard that. That makes me sad. I mean, he was the first. I remember listening to his album. Right, my mom used to put it in the car right after the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Because people forget that shit was passed around like drugs in the South.
Oh, dude, those guys made the most money for 4 straight years.
Yes.
Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Those guys were making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Do you remember? I remember being a kid. I remember being at Mabel. My mom used to clean this lady's house named Mabel, and I remember her handing us I think it was the DVD, and being like, "You have to watch this."
Yes.
And my mom and she goes, "Don't let RD watch the guy that drinks on stage."
Yeah.
And I snuck around and watched it, and I was blown away. I was like, "That is the funniest fucking human I've ever seen in my life."
Yep.
And I became like a huge fan of him. And then he's one of the few people I actually haven't met in comedy that I'm such a big. I gave him some cigars the other day. I sent him back to the green room for him. I didn't want to bother him, but that shit was huge. And it's like, have any of those guys had trouble?
No.
Has any of them had trouble has Nate Bargatze, like all these people? It's such a stupid thing they put on the Southern, and that's why I'm so glad that I embrace it. I talk about it, and then you realize there's a whole demographic of people that relate to you,
and they actually buy shit.
Yeah.
So with Ron, he had said, and he said this on the show, so I'm not outing him in any way, but he just said, "Look, man, doctor said I had to stop drinking and smoking."
Yeah.
And he goes, going back out on the road, when that's your bit and doing, that all the time, he's just like, man, I'm at my age. Do I really want to fucking get into this anymore? And I was like, I get it, man. He's been hilarious for 30, 40 years at this point. Like, who cares?
And he also went real hard,
Oh, yeah.
My man, he put his tokens in the machine real early on, and he just I smoke and I drink pretty much every day, but I live a healthy lifestyle outside of that, but it does worry me, but that's the reason I don't ever want to have to go on stage and be drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's fun when I do. It's a great time, get drunk on 6th Street and go down to Vulcan and do a set and not remember what I said. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But I'm I don't want it to depend on that. And it's a weird road of this life that we're in. Cause I'm some days I'm like, man, did I drink too much this week? And then I'll take a week off and then I'm like, I'm good. And I come back to it, But then you hear Ron talk, but Ron, my man for 30, 40 years, he went in every day.
Oh, yeah.
He had the most fun, and lived his life, and now he's, taking off, but he seems healthy now. He looks really good.
Looks great. He was on our show, dropped a bunch of weight, everything else, tan, playing golf. Like, he looks like he's really enjoying his life.
Of course.
And those are the best people to me. When it gets tragic is when people don't know when to walk away.
That's a big thing.
Like Michael Jordan sitting in front of a wall of TV screens watching other people play basketball.
God damn it, man. It's so I don't want to read that article.
Go enjoy your $1 billion, bro.
I didn't want to read that article.
Use your $1 billion to make other people do weird shit in front of you.
Do you know what we're talking about, by the way?
I don't.
Yeah, like
it's an article in Sports Illustrated called Michael Jordan Turns 50. And they went to interview him for his 50th birthday. And they got to his house. There was nothing but TVs in one room. And he's just sitting there smoking and drinking, watching every basketball game at the same time. And then telling the reporter how he could beat every single person, including LeBron. And he goes, dude, if you take LeBron left, he goes, I would fucking destroy LeBron.
That's a weird... I don't know, because there's a comic that's very successful. And the comic
Sebastian Maniscalco?
No. There's a comic that's very successful. When they get off stage, though, they instantly go in, they break down their entire set, and they're angry about it because they're like, oh, I messed this up. And they go in like insane. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't ever party. They just focus on comedy like 24/7. And they're a good comic. But I'm like, that's not fun to me. Like, if I want to live a life where I'm just sitting there living in anxiety, I go work at the fucking coal mines, get my nice little benefits package. But
get a parrot.
Yeah, go fucking like this. That does not seem fun.
Canary. Parrots are for pirates.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know the difference between those two.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I'd fuck them both.
One of them, well, I'll hold the legs.
Yeah.
One of them talks. The other one can't. I would recommend, if you're going to commit an act of bestiality, to fuck the one that doesn't talk.
Right.
It's the same strategy that those pedophiles used at the school for the deaf and blind in Wisconsin. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I understand their logic.
Sure.
Dude, how funny would that be if you taught your bird how to say, like, he touched me, and then you left your friend in the room with the bird?
You just have to teach them the word Cuomo.
It depends on what you... Yeah.
Cuomo.
So my buddy had a fucking African parrot.
Oh,
yeah.
And
African-American parrot.
Yeah, exactly. I should say, because it is an American. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
I know.
I'll stand for a lot, but you will not.
Yeah. I hope Black Lives Matter doesn't show up at this office. I apologize for that, obviously.
We're going to have the Reverend Jesse Jackson in to apologize to
probably
at some point.
Probably.
Yeah.
But he used to leave records on that he wanted words for the bird to say. And
right.
It got fucked up. So you can whatever you put on, they'll do.
Yeah.
As long as you decide to do it. But is it weird because those things live for like 50 years, 60 years. Is it weird to fuck up a bird with vocabulary?
No, here's my
knowing you're going to leave the room.
One of the second, so I have this idea for what I call a monkey co-op. I don't want to go off on like a 6-week run on this, but I've brought it up pretty much every week for a while now. Monkey co-op is those little monkeys. They're cool, fun to hang out with, but I don't want to tend to a fucking monkey all the time.
Right.
So you and like 10 or 15 of your buddies get together. You fund the whole thing. It would cost you like upfront cost of like $800 and then maybe $600 a month to have access to a monkey, like pretty much whenever you want. Right. You can go play with it and go home, but there's a caretaker that takes care of all that bullshit. The second part was, and I think this is an even better idea. We buy. And this is how you know I used to sell drugs, because only people who are scammers in their youth would even think like this. But buy birds that talk, teach them whatever the fuck. Like you take special requests from the new potential owner if they want to say fucked up shit, or maybe it's a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan and they say the fight song or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And you train the bird and you sell them. At an increased price, because really it doesn't cost them anything to train them except for food and the sound that you're trying to get them to repeat.
Yeah,
it's just time and space, right? So if you already have all that stuff, you could do that. I want to buy a bird today, and then maybe this is because of all the drugs too, but
Dan's on a lot of drugs.
Yeah, if I want a bird today that says something specific, I want that to be available to me.
Yeah,
I don't think that's unreasonable.
There's a if there's a buyer, there's a seller.
Yeah, there should be a bird union too.
Yeah,
obviously, so they're not getting taken advantage of, and they're getting properly compensated.
Yeah, there should be like somewhere, and dude, imagine like an ad. You could run like on Facebook and stuff.
It's central casting.
You run it, exactly.
For birds that say "cunt" every time somebody walks through my front door.
Yeah.
Cunt.
Yeah. Or if you're a comic, right?
Yeah.
Richard Pryor's dead, obviously.
Right.
You play old Pryor records, and that's all. It's all the parrot knows.
Right.
That way, it's just recycling Pryor records everywhere.
Okay, but if it's a white parrot, is it allowed to do that act?
No, you're gonna have to spray paint it black.
Okay, get a black parrot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to blackface
it.
it.
It's a transracial.
If it's a white parrot, he can do George
Carlin.
Carlin. Yeah.
It's a transracial parrot.
Yeah.
But this is better than the Book of Eli, where, spoiler alert, that movie's 10 years old, but homeboy's cruising through the desert. He's got a book. It's the last book. Everybody wants it, blah, blah, blah. And he's making his way out west because there's some promised land where they're collecting books and restoring human history or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Turns out the book's the Bible, and it's all in Braille, so nobody can fucking read it. He had memorized the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of doing that, let's just train an army of birds to memorize all of human history and all of our facts and shit, and get rid of these goddamn things.
Yeah.
And then we could just be having one-on-one conversations with birds.
I agree. Instead of having to post shit on social media, we were talking about this before we come in, right? If I didn't have to use this computer, phone, or anything to promote all the other shit,
right,
I wouldn't have it. If I could have a fucking bird, who I could just tell things to do, right? Congratulations, let's fucking do that.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to sign a non-disclosure agreement with the birds.
Your Bitcoin password, your bird knows it.
Yeah.
So like, if you tickle your bird's left foot, 7895, like that's not a bad idea.
Now
either.
we have his.
No
Bitcoin,
one steals it.
Yeah.
His. Did anybody get that?
Take his fucking wallet on Coinbase.
Let's edit that part out.
Yeah, exactly. It's live. Nowhere to go. It's live.
The point of all that is to come back into the fact that social media is fucking cancer.
Yes. It is cancer. It's the worst thing in the world. Like, I truly hate it. I hate the way that it gives, like, you ever have you ever watched people argue LeBron versus Jordan? Like, they'll argue that on a post.
Can't stand it.
About anything, and they'll just argue. I'm like, who fuck? Like, it's like, if you argue with your friends, that's fun. Like, I love to argue with my friends, but it's like they just argue this shit all day. And like the same post every week. And I'm like, I hate this thing. But at the same time, it's giving me money, which is like the coolest thing. You know, it's pretty fucking great. And so it's like a necessary evil, like we said before.
Yeah.
Of where you have to have it if you're in like our fields, but it fucking sucks, man.
I know.
And I have people write stuff sometimes where they'll like critique my jokes and they'll tell me, like, how I should do it better. And I'm like, do you understand how ridiculous you fucking sound? Or when like someone, like for me to critique Nick Saban's play calling, which I kind of do, but I do it in the comfort of my own home.
Nick Saban doesn't know shit about football.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll be like, he should have ran it there. And then I'm like, no, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, why would I say that? But I like people being like, hey man, you really should have raised your left hand when you said that. It would have given more impact. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't, bitch, because this, and but then I don't ever comment, but in my mind, I try to like just calm down because I'm like, you were so fucking stupid. The arrogance to do that, you dummies. You don't know more than the person It's like late night bookers were the same way. When you deal with like fucking Fallon or Myers or whatever runs their dumb shows now, you deal with these bookers that will tell you about your jokes. I'm like, bitch, you've never done comedy in your life. Why do you think you know more? It's to say it's ridiculous. Social media is the worst, but at the same time, you know, I can afford, you know, new boots every couple months. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know? And the thing with like a Fallon or something like that is you can't compete with a podcast anymore. There's more listeners on a podcast. Fallon's at 1 million per night, and you don't get to see it ever again.
Yeah.
The podcast, it lives forever. We're over that, for Christ's sakes, and it's unedited. So you can come out here and say everything but the N-word.
You want to hear why I never did Fallon?
Yeah.
I wanted to do. My mom was a fan of his, so I got drunk one night and I watched Fallon and Myers for the first time. And I watched it, and it was just shitty Trump jokes, right? And it was just dumb Trump. I mean, the same shit. He's orange, his hair's fake, right? So I wrote, like, I just watched Fallon and Myers, and it was just shitty Trump jokes for like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I go to this festival a couple months later, and the booker of Fallon's there. And he walks up to me, he goes, "You're an idiot." And I was like, okay. I was like, "Good to see you too," you know? He goes, "No, you can't post this." And he shows me the screenshot of the tweet that he took from 6 months prior. And he shows it to me. He's like, "You can't post this." And I go, "Why?" And he goes, "Because I can't book you if you post it." And I go, "Bitch, you weren't booking me anyway."
Yeah.
I go, I'm a straight white guy who's not fucking sad to be white. I was like, "You weren't booking me." And then I go, so then I was a little drunk too. I had my shirt off because I was dancing at this festival. And then he goes, "Well, you just can't say stuff like that." I go, "No, bitch, you can't say stuff." I'm like, "Are you saying the monologue's not bad?" He goes, "You just can't say it." I go, "Get the fuck away from me, dude. Like, get away."
Yeah.
And then he told a bunch of people, and I had to like apologize to some people, but that point I said I will never apologize again because I was not sorry. Because that shit was awful. They're so stupid in the way they try to, guide you and stuff, and then they tell you can't say this. No, you can say whatever you want. You can deal with the consequences. The consequences was not 45 people seeing my set on Fallon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the consequence.
That's the consequence. And like, if you look at their ratings, because I know Daily Show's under 50,000 viewers right now, and it's like,
oh God,
they'll
really?
all be off the air soon enough. And that's kind of it. I mean, they're switching over to apps now.
Yeah.
But their contracts are so long. They've got advertisers booked out already for a certain amount of years. And it's like, it's a dying field at this point. I used to watch it all the time when I was little.
Right.
And then once it switched right around 15, 16 in that election, I was like, oh, it's the same fucking joke, same across the board on everything. SNL, everything else.
They asked me to audition.
Yeah.
They asked me to audition, and I said no. I was like, why do y'all want me on the show? And they go, we want to swap things up. We want to reach the demographic that we're not reaching. I go, you mean the people you make fun of every week?
Yeah.
You just make fun of Southern white people. I wrote this really awesome bit. I sent it in. And I felt really good about it. And the guy responded. He goes, man, this is actually like really great. And I was like, damn. I was like, this is gonna be cool if I can come on the Daily Show, it'd be like a breath of fresh air, you know? And then they booked like some guy that just fit exactly what they were already doing. And his first bit was literally like, why rednecks suck or something. And I was like, why did y'all waste my time? Why are we even doing this?
Yeah.
You know? They're so ridiculous. But at this point,
well,
it's just
basically that's
laughable.
what it's like to be a black guy trying to get an NFL coaching job, right? Like, you'll get the interview, but not the job.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I have a friend of mine's on the Daily Show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll say this. Their parents, super red state.
Yeah.
Lean conservative, and then all of a sudden, nope, out the door. Like, that's all gone. You want the gig, and let's go full on Democrat.
No, I got a couple friends on the Daily Show, and I don't blame them because it's a check and everything, but it's so sad that what we're doing right here, we're sitting here drinking some whiskey. I was asleep, 3 hours ago. I smoked a cigar, and then now, instead of this versus me going to New York for 2 weeks, crafting a set, figuring out what brands I can and can't say, going backstage, testing rehearsal to get more views off this than that. It's sad to me what they're doing. It's so ridiculous. I think when does it die out though? Because I feel like we're getting there, dude.
Well, it's weird because YouTube, like right now, we're spinning on YouTube already. Probably because we talked about some controversial shit. We've always been shadow banned on YouTube, but the audio numbers you can't stop, right?
Right.
And that's the bread and butter of the operation,
right.
Because of what we do and the controversial guests we have on, and we don't really give a shit what anybody says. Like,
right.
You can literally say anything except for one word.
Yeah.
And you can probably say that in private.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Just scream it into your pillow like Papa John.
Well, what's his nuts said it on Rogan that time? What's that comedian's name?
Who was that? Yeah, and he coaxed him into it. It was really funny.
I could see his face.
Hot Bob, look that up. What? There was one comedian that Rogan got him to say the N-word live on air.
Oh, man.
And he did it. It was pretty funny.
That's a good question. Like, would I say the N-word?
On Rogan.
Get on Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because overnight you'd explode. He's the white Oprah.
Yeah. Well, that's what's so funny, with because I don't say the N-word at all, but, Morgan Wallen got all that shit for saying that. And, he apologized and did everything. And if he felt sorry, of course, I think you should. If you were meaning it in any malice or whatever, and now, I guess you should say it. But he didn't have to apologize.
No.
He didn't lose a fucking fan.
He gained fans.
His album was already killing it because I thought it was a great album as someone who just likes country. I like bro country too. I think all of it's great.
Sure.
But he didn't have to apologize, and he did. And I was like, all right, if you feel bad for it, if you feel bad, then you should apologize. But it's like he didn't have to do any of that. I think that's what's so funny with these past couple weeks with like the Dave Chappelle stuff and all that is you're realizing if you have fans, you could say whatever you want. You still have to deal with repercussions of like whatever. But if you're not on a TV show and you're not having to answer to NBC or whatever those cocksuckers are, then you're fine, dude.
Yeah.
But if you do something actually wrong, then you should get in trouble. But Dave didn't do anything wrong,
and he doesn't give a fuck.
No.
He's so rich he didn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like even now, the only thing that bums me out is that I've been dealing with like shadow banning on YouTube or not on YouTube on Instagram and TikTok for quite a bit, and it's cost me a lot of money. And that's something that bums me out because without that, I mean, I'll say conservatively in the past 8 months, it's cost me $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to get it built back, but this all was done for me saying white trash. White trash is hate speech. Did y'all know that? according to
really?
Instagram. Yeah. My account got shadow banned for hate speech. And so we were growing like crazy, and everything was getting likes. We'd reached 2 million people per 7 days. Said white trash, got a hate speech violation, reposted it, said, Instagram, this is not hate speech. I'm calling myself white trash, got pulled down again. And since then, my account's been at 60,000 people reached per 7 days.
Yeah.
And we've reached out to Instagram through my agency, and they just kind of won't fix the shit.
No.
And it's cost me money, and it's very annoying. So I'm trying to build the YouTube up, but I've heard YouTube does some of the
Same thing.
Yeah.
YouTube is far worse.
Yeah.
TikTok, we got 400,000 people on TikTok, and I got 25 violations. I get pulled down for nudity of me doing stand-up.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you nude?
No, I was fucking. I mean, I was wearing this. I mean, I was wearing like a shirt and the pants, and it was a clean bit, and they pulled me down. And so that's something that bothers me is the power that they've been given. Mm-hmm. You know, I think people should be able to decipher things for themselves. You know, this shit I see it I don't like, and I just go not interested, and I skip through. Yeah. You know, and some people they're like, I need to get this person. I don't like what they said, so I'm going to get them taken down. Well, and that's annoying.
There's this theory in jurisprudence that there's no crime without a victim, right?
Okay.
So victimless crime is not actually a crime. And these folks have now convinced themselves that simply being offended or being exposed to something that they didn't want to be exposed to is a crime.
Right.
Right? Or makes them a victim, rather. And there's also social currency involved with being a victim.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it's not who's the fucking captain of the football team anymore. Or who's whatever the fuck for chicks. I don't know. Cleaning the best. I don't fucking
Homecoming queen.
Whatever. Now it's like, how many victim classes are you part of?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But there's comedians that have built, careers off that now. Being the victim. And that shit's sad, man. But what's funny is it doesn't hold up. You watch, man, you look at their ticket sales, they'll sell well in Portland, they'll sell well in, Seattle or somewhere, but you put them in, Nebraska or somewhere, and you watch them tickets are all available. And it's sad to me because I have fans that are far left, I have fans that are far right, I have people, I want you to come to my show and laugh, I don't want you to be offended. But some people they feel the need to. Like I was in San Francisco. I was making fun of these dudes. They were like 80 years old, and they were gay, and they were dressed like they were in like the Prohibition era. They had like monocles and shit.
Yeah.
And I kept calling them my 30-year gays, and I was like, y'all were gay when it was like illegal. Y'all were sucking dick behind a Burger King.
Yeah.
And they're laughing the whole time, and I kept calling them my 30-year gays because they had been married for 30 years. And this white girl up front, she goes, they've been gay their whole life, not just 30 years. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, I know that, you dummy. Like, but they're laughing, and now you're the one being offended. I'm calling them my 30-year gays. I was like, I'm not saying that. And then I was like, you can fucking leave if you want. Like, it was so annoying because I'm like, you're taking up for people that are laughing, that are having a good time. And nothing I said was wrong.
The other part about it is it takes about 10, 15 years maybe longer to figure out you are gay. So even putting that label on them of like, oh, hey, they've been gay their entire lives. No, they weren't. The first 5 years, you don't really know, right?
But it's so insane for them to and it seems to always be like at my shows, it's white women that have the most issues. We had one here in Austin. Lady talked to the whole show, and when I addressed her and got her to be quiet, then she got upset that I made fun of her. And I'm like, I just called the Mexican dude. I said he swam from the Dominican to get her. I was like, we're talking about two different countries. I just made fun of him. And now you are being upset because you were talking, and I politely asked you to stop talking.
Yeah, it's oppression FOMO.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. That's what it is. I said that 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
Well, actually, it was 2.5 years ago. It's oppression FOMO.
But could you imagine, I don't know how those people live, dude. I wake up every day. My life's pretty good. I live a happy life. And, when I see someone, I guess, they're going through something, I don't ever go oh, man, I should be, even if I got canceled or whatever, I would deal with it. I wouldn't be so a lot of comics want cancel culture too. A lot of comics that aren't good, they're trying to be like, I'm getting canceled. It's like, no, dude, you're not working.
Yeah.
There's a big difference in what's going on, but I don't fucking know. That shit's wild, dude. Some girl said if you lose weight and not thinking about your health, just your body, you're fat phobic.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here,
It's
dude?
true. It's true. By the way, Julia Mangulia is asking, what is your TikTok and IG handle?
At Rockydale Davis. So the it's Rocky Dale Davis.
Okay.
And we got a bunch of clips up on there. Done really well, and we're trying to battle back and trying to get my agency to fix it, but I think we may try to hire someone, or there has to be someone you can get in touch with.
We've tried for years and years. Joey Mottenham saying Johnson City Fire Department's all watching the show right now. Shout out to you boys.
Thank you guys,
We've tried forever. Like, we hired a YouTube guy. He checks in, what, three times a year, 4 times a year, that guy?
Yeah.
It worked for a little bit, and then it goes back down, and then it
well, they swap people. That's the big issue we had. They just swapped to some person that apparently she is very leaning towards a certain side and does not want to help.
No.
And I'm like, dude, I'm not a controversial comedian at all. Like, I'm literally not. But I don't know, dude. It just pisses me off because we go to a market. I'll go to, Florida, and the next day I'll get 50 messages. Dude, you were in Tampa? I didn't know. And I'm like, fuck, I'm looking at 50 people that would have bought tickets. Yep. You do that times 25, and it pisses me off, but there's nothing you can fucking do about it.
No.
I think eventually, though, the motherfucker that does come out with a proper, app, that doesn't censor, they're going to make $1 billion off of it.
Oh, 100%.
But that used to be all the apps, though. The apps used to be open.
Yeah.
And then now they want to crack down. But I wish they would realize they're just going to lose money from it. They're just going to lose money.
The one problem is they have to sell advertising, right? So Twitter's had this problem for years and years and years, and they've still never been able to crack the code of how to monetize Twitter.
Right.
They have ads that they stick in there, so if you look at a subject or whatever, the problem with it is the advertisers are so woke that they don't want to be associated with that type of content either. So trying to get them, even with because Trump's got an app coming out, right?
Yeah.
His advertisers are going to be like My Pillow. I mean, it's
Papa John's.
Exactly. Yeah. It'll be that crew who's willing to risk it all, because as soon as you come out and say you support the right or whatever, they'll go to Twitter and be like, boycott this company. Fuck them. You don't need to burn. Die in hell. And so that's the issue with it. You still have to monetize all these platforms, and so does YouTube.
Right.
So with YouTube, they have advertisers. You see ads before all the shows.
Right.
If you go and say, hey, man, we got this guy, he's super controversial and loves... I don't know how Crowder does it. Like, how does Steven Crowder get away with it?
Crowder's I always see Crowder on my YouTube. I don't even watch many of his videos.
I don't either.
But I always see him. I don't know how the fuck he gets away.
I don't either.
Tim Pool does too, and it's because every I've been to his studio, I've done his show. There's a list of shit you can't say.
Yeah,
and he has it next to his computer.
Yep. Next to all the computers.
Also, Tim Dillon is another one, too.
Oh, yeah. How the fuck is Tim Dillon?
Bro,
he's primarily behind a paywall now, though, right?
So once a week. So once a week he goes on Patreon. And then the other time he goes on YouTube, and that's all he does. He only does 2 shows a week.
My man is living. I've known Tim forever, and it is so hilarious because I went over to his house. He's got a house out here, and I went over, and I was like, hey, man, do you understand that you make, for one, audio only, not video?
Yes.
Audio only episode a week. That's for a month that you make $180,000. I'm like, a month. Do you understand that?
A month he makes that, yeah.
We used to do spots at the Stand in fucking New York, and he'd always wear like a polo or whatever and just fucking come running in, and I'd come running in. We both were fucking broke. And we're doing spots at the Stand for, I think it was like, what, $25? And then I'm looking, I'm like, do you understand your life is like insane?
Yeah.
And it couldn't happen tonight. He's a great guy, though. I mean,
What's his remark on it? What does he think of it?
He just calls it insane. He's like it's absolutely insane. He's such a business minded person though too. Like he is so he's a really good dude, because if you have a question about something, this motherfucker works through things. He has a good process of working through business and understanding things, And like the Michael Che stuff, Michael Che, tried to make fun of him the other day. And which was just stupid, because I'm like,
Tim Dillon would murder him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not even close. I mean,
no.
I think Che had a good special a couple years ago on Netflix, but to talk about Tim, I'm like, he's one of the guys you can't really talk about, man.
No.
He also has unfettered access to his own audience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's essentially like heckling somebody. They have the microphone. They can fucking light your ass up anytime they want. And believe me when I tell you that Tim Dillon's microphone is quite a bit bigger than Michael Che's, despite their racial differences.
It's like going after Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Her audience will fucking destroy
you. She doesn't even know about it.
Oh,
no.
She has no idea. Like, her audience just goes and murders people's careers.
Oh, yeah.
That's that's what's that fucking, like the BTS, the Korean pop.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Like some of those, so Tim has this, I mean, this loyal fan base. And so that is the most pure thing because, he's getting fucked with on Instagram too. And he doesn't even care because he has a direct, that's the biggest thing. When you're on Instagram, you're at a bar, you're scrolling. That's why I put captions on my video because some people watch my videos and don't ever actually even hear the sound. They just look at the captions.
Well, they're at work.
Then they show up to the show and expect a banjo to be playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like Tim, though, the difference is, though, this is what's great with what you guys have and what Tim has is when I say right now, like I'm coming to this city, blah, blah, blah day, right? Everyone hears it. You're listening. You're actively listening.
Right.
And that's why people, it's so funny. I had met a guy the other day that was a big fan of mine. And he had listened to like all my podcasts we had done. And he's like, wow, this is so weird because I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
Because I've heard you, watching a clip on Instagram for 15 minutes and liking it, but hearing my voice for, 10 hours, you feel like you know me. Mm-hmm. And that's a weird place because I've been there with like Rogan when I kind of like passed through with Rogan once. I felt like we were friends and I had to stop myself from reaching out and grabbing his hand and be like, hey man, it's good to see you. Because I'm like, oh no, you don't know me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to you for, whatever, 200 hours, but we don't have any relationship here.
Yeah.
It's a weird way. It's a weird society to live in, because some people just love podcasts. Well, I love them too.
We obviously own a media company. We've got about 16 shows. We record about 125 a month, right?
Yeah. Damn.
Dan and I are on about 2 or 3 a day. I don't often get a chance to listen to other people's podcasts simply because we're recording all day.
Yeah.
Actual podcasts.
Right.
Tim Dillon, though, is one of the guys that I will carve out a time on the way to work.
Right.
And Giorgio, one of our producers back there, calls it going to church because they drop on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's always a fucking delight out of that guy.
It's it's mind blowing. Because I've done a podcast with my buddy Tony, and I tried doing one by myself at first. I got really bored of it. Did it with Tony, and it's hard to do when you're on the road all the time. No. Tony Casillas, he's a buddy of mine. He's my opener, and we did a podcast, and we've been gone for like 3 months, so we couldn't do it. But it's very weird that like it's that doing it is super fun, but then I have certain friends that like I guess Tim, for example, that it's hard to process how many people listen. The same thing with y'all. It's like, do y'all ever like you get more listeners? Like, I mean, this is a very nice place we're in right now.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. But I've done a show on NBC that had 17 hands to lift every single coffee cup and do this and this whole production. Yeah. They paid 4 celebrities, and this gets more views than that it got.
Yes,
that's sad.
It's sad. You know who mastered that, by the way, on the last run was Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
So he had made a conscious decision when Green Lights came out that he was going to do every fucking huge podcast there was. Sit down with everybody for 90 minutes,
right.
Ask him anything about his life. There was nothing off limits. And that fucking book, I think it was 27 straight weeks on the New York Times bestseller list,
wow.
including the audiobook. And so Tim Kennedy hit me up maybe 2 or 3 days ago.
His book, wrestle him so bad.
Dude, his book, he's a buddy of ours. His book is coming out in May, and he goes,
May 27th.
Hey. Yeah. And he goes, what's the biggest pointers you can give me about the release? And I go, hit every fucking podcast you can.
Yeah. That's another Shane Gillis. He released
fucking hilarious. He's the one that got fired from SNL.
Yeah, which is again,
I feel an Asian joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry because I feel like we've harped on this a bunch today. But I was talking to a friend. I was talking to a friend about it last night, so I've kind of just been laughing at it because I feel good because I've given up a bunch of TV stuff. Even recently, I've had a bunch of offers come in, and I've said no, and I've been like, damn, should I have taken this?
Yeah.
Be the fucking third guy that kisses the whatever girl, and then we find love at the end. But Shane was the best example. You get on SNL, his dream job. And before he got on SNL, he couldn't sell a ticket in any market, okay? Gets kicked off SNL and then does...
Before he starts,
yeah. Right? Which I think was... He doesn't think about it. I think he was set up, I think it was all set up. But he gets kicked off and then he blows up because everyone wants to support him. They see his stand-up. He's incredibly hilarious. Does the sketches on YouTube, which are unreal, and then drops this special on YouTube and does 45 podcasts to promote it.
Yep.
And it gets 3 million views.
Yep.
And it's a special because I have an opportunity right now. We're working on with a platform to release a special, and we're kind of dealing with some shit, because the platform is weird about the vaccine stuff, and then not doing it versus doing it, and this and that, and we can't say this, and I'm like, I kind of want to put this shit on YouTube, you know? And just own it and then tell everybody to go fuck themselves because they don't even give you the right to post it on Instagram,
No.
I have Instagram clips that have, 5 million views, 10 million views.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a weird place to be in because you think this big platform and, has all this money put into it and they release this and that, but Then you got Shane, who went to the Creek in the Cave down here in Austin, recorded a couple sets, and now has 3 million views, and he's selling out everywhere he goes.
And I think he's got a series on Netflix right now.
He doesn't have it. Shane don't.
Are
does
you sure?
He? Does he? No.
Michael Che does. No, that's on HBO. I'm sorry.
The difference between those two people are very, very different.
Yeah.
Look up Shane Gillis Netflix. I want to say it was a sketch show where he was.
No. That's his YouTube, man.
I think they converted it.
There's no way. There's no way.
Not
Is it
finding-
YouTube?
It's YouTube.
My kids watch YouTube all the time.
Gillian Keeves.
Okay.
Yeah. That shit's unreal. He had fucking 6. He makes fun of Alabama football a lot, which he can suck my dick on that one.
Are you a big Bama fan?
Big Bama. I mean, I was born in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, God damn it.
I got drunk the other day. So I have a house down south in Kyle here, south of Austin, and I don't have anything in my house because all I do is smoke cigars and I work, and now I do a Twitch stream and stuff. And so I have in my garage though, I have a 80-inch TV, QLED and all that shit. I got 2 recliners. I got a bunch of bourbon and a bunch of cigars. Yeah. And I have an air filter in there. So I just constantly sit out there. So our buddies came over and watched Auburn, Alabama, which if you're not familiar with the game this year, we went into 4 overtimes.
Should have lost.
Should have lost. 100%.
In regulation.
In regulation.
All they had to do was run the fucking ball.
It was unreal. They had to stay in bounce that one play. We'd have lost. So my buddies come over.
The closer you get to Atlanta, the less you understand about how to close out a game.
Yeah. Boy, we're diehard Braves, Falcons.
Oh, man. Well, you got the Braves this year.
Yeah, finally.
You couldn't expect both. You couldn't expect to get the Braves and the Bulldogs.
Ironically, though, I went into a coma the day before we were supposed to go to the game. So
what?
I didn't.
What happened?
I didn't wake up pneumonia. I didn't wake up till 3 weeks later, and I missed the entire World Series. 22 years. I was at the last one we won.
Are you fucking
dead
kidding
serious?
me?
Dead serious. Die hard fan. I'm wearing a fucking Falcons.
Think about it like
today.
this though.
Yeah.
If you'd have been awake, and what if you being asleep like powered them to the win?
Then maybe if the Falcons go to the Super Bowl, I got to go back in.
Yeah. What's like the squirrel effect or whatever, or the butterfly
effect. Yeah.
Why in the fuck would you go to squirrel first?
I don't know. No, because the goddamn hot tub time machine. You remember the squirrel?
Oh, yeah.
That fucked me up.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
But with Bama, so I'm in the hospital. I got to watch all their shit.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that. Could not believe the SEC championship. I mean,
I
lost
felt good that
$2,000
day.
because we have a sponsor, mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit. Yeah. Join whatever.
I use my bookie, yeah.
Yeah, bet with us or against us, that's fine. That I went all in on Georgia. I think I put $2,000 on that game. That was fucking nuts, dude. I mean, they housed Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
It was supposed to be a generational defense.
Yeah. No, that's what I said all year. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a fucking psychic here. But I said all year long when this team plays the way we should play. Auburn, we played the worst game I've seen Bama play in my career of watching Bama, which I started watching when I was 8. So I was at my house in Austin. Tony came over. A couple comics came over. I got drunk. I broke my fucking recliner. I broke the table I just bought from Target. I hit it and fucking cracked the goddamn middle. I broke 3 glasses and I drank 2 bottles of Terramana. And then I vomited. I got so drunk that I think I got like a little bit of alcohol poisoning. And I got like really sick and vomited out. But we won. So it was all worth it in the end. And then we were in Vegas when Georgia and Alabama were playing with my girlfriend. And she goes, I really hope Bama wins because I know how you're going to be if they don't.
Yeah.
And then I called her like a couple hours later and she goes, are you drunk? I go, nah, I'm actually like pretty cool right now.
You guys were stomping them the whole game.
Stomped the fuck out of it. Because I said 99's a great defensive player, but he gets tired. And no one ever runs like an up-tempo defense on them and moves the ball. And I said, that little quarterback, Stetson Bennett, that little bitch, he cannot play under pressure. He always plays with a lead. And I was like, he did it last year, he'll do it this year. If we can get them down where he's had to make plays, he'll fuck up, and he did. Exactly what happened. Now, 19, though, that fucking white tight end, I mean, he is the saving grace
fucking
of our
incredible.
Race. That kid was unreal.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
we'll play again. We'll play the championship.
Yes.
I don't think there'll be a difference in the game, though.
I think there's going to be quite a bit of difference.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, Kirby Smart fucked that game up as bad as a coach can fuck it up. They went from a blitz first, like an 80% blitz defense, He got scared, and he was running like a fucking 3-down lineman defense.
Yeah,
against
can't give Bryce
Alabama.
time.
Why? Because
Yeah.
you want to run fucking a prevent defense against Alabama? You think that's going to work? No, you've got to jam them the fuck up.
It was
strange. It's the only way it ever works.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not strange. He's a fucking pussy.
Well,
everybody there hates that guy.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is and this will play in the championship game. This is the reason they won't win then, or I guess y'all won't win. I don't know how to say it. Y'all can't stop.
I'm not a bull. I'm not a.
Oh, sorry.
We're not. Yeah, I went to Ohio State.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, fuck.
Well, you beat our COVID team last year, so I'm not going to get into that. But.
You can't. The Bulldogs can't stop number one. You can't stop Jameson Williams.
Well, no one's going to stop anybody necessarily, right?
But I'm saying Jameson Williams. If you try to rush, I think we're starting to get. The only thing with Bryce, when he plays well, that's one thing I give always Tua and them is that Tua could hit a slant really well. Mm-hmm. If you blitz and then we run a slant, we're going to fuck you because the receivers are unreal, and we're paying them so much underneath the table. We're giving
now it can be over the table.
Yeah, well, Bryce, got like a $1 million deal or something.
Yeah.
You saw today, Deion Sanders, Jackson State just stole the number one recruit.
Well, you know why, right?
The Barstool deal, right?
Yeah, 1.5 million.
Yeah, Barstool's a wild place. It's wild to see that all that shit happening now. That's what makes me. I wish I would have been an athlete, man.
I like those guys at Barstool, though.
Yeah, they've been on the show.
They might get their PP slapped for this one, though.
Yeah,
KFC was on the show. It's all legal. It's just
it's technically legal now, but I think there's going to be some new provisions after this season.
I'm telling you, if that Quinn Ewers number comes out from Texas, I know it's $10 million. All right, I've already fucking heard it's $10 million.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That kid leaving Ohio State was shocking. I want to be friends with that kid.
But here's what happened. So on the inside, he walked into Ryan Day's office and says, "Hey, I need to start next year. We have the freshman of the year up for the Heisman Trophy."
Right.
And Big Ten play, all the awards and accolades you could possibly get.
Right.
He's got 2 more years left of college.
Yeah.
And Ryan Day's like, "No, why the fuck are you asking this?" And he's like, "Well, the NIL deal that he signed for $1.4 million, he's got to start at least 8 games next year."
Oh shit!
So him and his dad, when they transferred, and I've got a fucking photo of this on my phone somewhere. I wish I could pop this over to you. Him and his dad had to go around and essentially shop him to schools. And so, hey, Bright, he's got to start.
Yeah.
Texas needs a quarterback.
Right.
And then Texas boosters have a fund that they put together to buy out players. Now, the first one was offensive linemen. They're paying them $50,000 a piece if you're a starter starting in the fall.
Right.
So they're getting the linemen and everything else.
Everybody covered.
Quinn Ewers, they backed up the truck full where he's going to go there. The thing is, if he's a bust, now these teams are like NFL players. And if he's a fucking bust, what do you do?
Yeah. I'll tell you something, though, from watching, I watched most of Ohio State's games this year. I would start Quinn over CJ. I don't believe in CJ. That's just me, being a dumb fan. But if this kid fucks up and he comes to Texas and they paid him all that money, you're going to see, it's going to be like when in comedy, when they used to give out the development deals at Montreal and they give you like $1 million, Seinfeld, and then the show started to not pan out, and you're going to see the shit gets taken away pretty quick. You're going to have to be like a guaranteed player. Like they gave Bryce $1 million before Bryce ever played. Yeah. And there was 7 games this year, Bryce looked like shit, and then he just happened to turn it on at all the right times and become this unreal, quarterback. But yeah, I think that would be very shocking. But I don't see how Quinn fails. That dude is that mullet has some power.
That's what I think. But the problem is he left at 17.
Yeah.
He's now truly just turning 18 years old.
How crazy is that? I'm 28.
Insane.
I'm 28, so I still feel
he's richer than you.
I still feel young. And he is so much richer than me, and he's 18, and he's going to stay richer than me.
Yeah.
And I'm getting mad at him,
Yeah,
I'm getting mad at Bryce all the time. Like,
you're
Bryce,
rooting for him to fail.
Yeah. How fucked up is that? I'm a 28-year-old. I'm going to bed at night. I'm like, man, I hope Quinn Ewers fucking throws an interception. That's a weird place to be in life. So I remember I used to be the same age as the kids, and now I'm not anymore. Now I'm their fucking uncle. I don't like that.
You can't show up at the parties anymore.
No, that's weird. I went back to my hometown, and a buddy invited me to a party, and there was like some high school people there, and I was like, I gotta go, dude.
Yeah, you're like, this is too much.
Why the fuck are they here? Like, what's my cousin? I'm like, nah, fuck, I don't want to be around these people, dude.
I know. Nick, will you grab me a water, by the way? Starting to get a little dry over here. God damn it. I'm stuck on the water because I just got out of the fucking hospital. So
I'm sorry, man.
Back on the
good you're here,
we'll be back on the booth. Yeah. Is it?
I mean,
is it? I saw a cyclist today, like a group of cyclists in front of my car.
Oh, God.
And I was running late to this fucking meeting, and I was like, God damn it, dude. Am I really happy? Because inside of me, I just want to kill those guys. And I'm like, now I got to go back to reality where.
That's a natural thought, though. I think people that drive ride bicycles for not if you're driving for a purpose to go to a job or something. I understand.
Yeah.
But if you're driving it and you have that tight little outfit, I hope your whole family is cursed for the rest of your life. You fucking suck.
For leisure, it was 10:30 a.m.
Grow up.
Grow up.
Grow up. Go fucking fishing.
Yes.
Go work. Why buy the outfits? You fucking nerd, dude.
And it's all spandex, and you're like,
unless you're Lance Armstrong, if you're racing in the Tour de France or whatever, then go,
100%.
motherfucker. Yeah, well, I heard my accent for the first time right there. Tour de France. Holy shit.
Pull that clip, Sean. Pull that clip and post that everywhere.
Tour de France. That is awful, man.
Pull a clip of Chris Lee Knows Best and put that afterwards.
Did you say Chris
Not in
Leno?
my house. Chris Lee. Chris Lee Knows
It sounded
Best.
like Chris Leno. I was like, who the fuck is? Yeah,
Chris Lee Knows Best. Yeah. Not in my house.
Now, hey, look, let me tell y'all something right now. Y'all ain't gonna come in here and y'all ain't gonna talk this way. I used to tour Southern Mama. You ever see the Southern Mama guy? Yeah, he's an asshole.
The only one who's pulling it off with a stern, like a Russian police officer, stern but fair, is Dr. Phil.
Oh,
where he's got a downward slant to that accent where it's talking down to you, where it's like he's definitely some Dom sub type shit. Like on the weekends where you're like, oh, 100%.
Fuck. What do you think has got more power, Quinn Ewer's mullet or Dr. Phil's mustache?
I'm going to go with his Bozo Ring. And here's why. Anybody with a Bozo Ring, you know what a Bozo Ring is?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Bald on top but hair on the sides.
Okay.
When you have enough confidence and power to not shave the sides and you're like, fuck it, I'm going with a Bozo Ring, that motherfucker's hard.
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes, he's making some tough decisions and he's fucking some people up. He probably walks his fucking wife on a leash once a month, twice a month.
Yeah, in his spare time, he does state executions.
Yes.
He's the guy that flips the
I mean,
switch.
I've been pegged before, So like,
have you?
Yeah.
By who? And was it voluntary?
My girlfriend. Yeah.
Did you ask her?
No, I didn't ask her because I keep telling this stupid story. So essentially, my girlfriend wanted us to do anal, and we couldn't. Didn't work out, logistically.
On her?
On her,
okay.
yes. And then she goes, it's a lot harder than you think. And I was like, whatever, quit, you're just being a little pussy about it. And which is not, I shouldn't have said that, but to her. But then she's like, I'll shove my dildo up your ass and see how it feels. And I'm like, you're not going to do that. And then she goes, yeah. And she kind of like laid in the bed and we kind of like messing, just like joking.
Sure.
And then she kind of just like did it. And I found out that day that I have I don't know if that's like a medical term, but I have a huge asshole. Like I have
a gaper. It's called a gaper.
It's unreal because I never thought about it. Like when I wipe sometimes, I'll go full 4 fingers and it goes in and I don't even notice, right?
Oh, boy.
And I thought everyone was like this.
No.
And then I've talked to friends and they're like, no, you have like, and I don't know if it's like a blessing or a curse, but the dildo went all the way in and it went past a little ring at the end, which is supposed to like kind of like stop it.
Sure.
It went past that where the batteries were gone. And I didn't even feel it until it starts to come out. Coming out, that feeling is only one feeling.
But it did come out. You're not vibrating walking through TSA.
No. It came out and I swear to God, we went to eat at Applebee's like right after. Not even joking. But it was insane because she was questioning like why. And I was like, I swear, like I'm not a homosexual. I do not do butt stuff ever, but I think I just have like a very enlarged asshole. And I don't know if it runs in my family. I don't really know my dad that much. But I have I'm proud of it. I mean, it's cool to say, it's like, because if I ever did go to jail, like it couldn't really stop me.
Like Kevin Malone in The Office. Oh, you'll love jail.
Yeah. And by the way, we got a surprise from you. Pipe in Rocky's dad. For the first time, he's going to answer the question. So nobody else in your family, have you discussed it with them of like, hey, like a cousin
I don't really know
you have brothers and sisters?
You're asking if he did a 23andMe and everybody's got big buttholes.
Huge assholes,
It's like you process kale really well.
Right.
Yeah, huge asshole. No, I don't. I never knew I know my dad. He's still alive, but he's a garbage room, so I don't talk to my dad. I don't really. My cousin is in jail. I'm trying to think of anybody else. My uncle is in jail.
Well, I mean, that's going to be...
I don't know any. I really don't know any.
That's not a good data point because their assholes have been wrecked in jail.
Yeah, you're not going to get an honest answer there.
Maybe they worked for it. Some people are built with talent. Michael Jordan is talented.
Yeah. Yes.
And some people work to get there, like Alex Caruso, or someone like that. They work to get to that point.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going in an entirely different direction, that you trying to prove to her how manly you were, you let her shove some shit.
That's what I thought, like out of dominance, where you're like, fuck you. No. Fuck you, put the dildo in.
Which is probably, and the reason I wanted to bring it up is because that's probably, if you're out there and you're a gay man trying to trick your straight dude friends into fucking, that's probably a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, some kind of queer or something? You don't want to have something shoved up your ass?
Yeah.
What's more manly than that? And
yeah.
Damn, he's got a point. Man.
Yeah. And then, boom.
That's how it happens.
Fucking let it ride.
That's how it happens. It's how it happened to all of us.
Yeah. Every time it was the same way. But with you, did you actually get to return the favor then? After you took it?
No, she still has to this day. We've never returned the favor. I'm the only one in our relationship that's ever done anal.
You got to get the jaws of life in there.
Yeah. And she said she'd done it before with other people. So I don't know. I just don't know what it is.
How many? Did you get a number?
No, I don't know. We never talk about numbers because those get a little. We've lived very different lives. She grew up a little bit different than I did. I was a road comic since I was 19.
Yeah.
So my numbers are a little skewed.
Sure.
And I've changed as a person, and everything. But I don't really bring those up. But,
I saw this meme that the average asshole can stretch out to 7 inches, and a raccoon can shrink itself down to 4 inches.
So you can put a full raccoon up your ass.
I could put a raccoon in my ass.
About 1.75 raccoons up your ass.
Yeah.
I think is the math on that one.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. It's really impressive. And
I think you should put a picture of it on the internet.
So do I.
I mean, it's got to be Twitter. Otherwise,
I'm trying to think. Do I have a picture? I don't even have a picture of my ass.
Well, we've got cameras here.
We got to look. These are all 4K.
You got A7s, right?
Look at this.
You guys are killing it.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see into an asshole here.
I've actually, at my house, I've got a fucking 800 millimeter lens with a 2x teleconverter. I can take a picture of your asshole from a mile away.
Yeah.
It's like a Hubble telescope.
Yeah.
I have directed amateur porn before. So
there you go.
If that helps out.
Pop a camera on Giorgio real quick if you can. That'd be great.
Yeah, and shock the world.
There it is. There he is.
Shock the world that this piece of shit's been involved in porn.
Yeah.
Amateur.
Yeah.
Amateur. So who was it? Besides yourself, because you've put shit up your ass before.
It was me. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, so you're the amateur.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a dude. I've been a director as well. We're both in the same.
Yeah.
career.
Now everybody that sent a fucking dick pic all of a sudden is a fucking film director.
That's something I worry about. I worry about that often. I worry about all the dick pics and stuff I sent before I met my girlfriend. I worry about them all like getting on the internet. Because I think we're like 6 to 8 months away from really blowing up and becoming, I guess, like a really popular person. And I think that's one of them's got to get released,
Yeah.
But thankfully, I've never taken a bad dick picture in my life.
Well, that's good.
I will put that hand to God. Everyone I've always taken, I take from a certain angle because I'm more girthy. Like, I don't know, my dick's built like a box press cigar, so it doesn't circle. It more or less is like,
nice.
it's like thin on the top, but then it comes out on the side, so you don't really see. It's like an optical illusion, like a cardboard cutout. Like if you turn it this way, it's skinny, but if you turn it that way, it's like wide.
Yep.
And so I've always taken really good. I squeeze the fuck out of it, get those veins. So if one of them's released, I'm not going to shy away from it, and I understand. And it's just what it is. It's the career we chose.
And I like the cardboard cutout reference. I'm not a big Florida Georgia Line fan.
Amen.
But I went into a liquor store, and they've got a new liquor out, and it had the tilt to it or whatever,
right.
and they looked cool, like kind of standing over me, and I was like, shit, maybe I should try the liquor.
Yeah.
So if you're in that company,
100%,
you're good to go then.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
You can go to GetRoman.com/Drinkin Bros if you need help getting a better boner.
We have boner pills on the show.
Yeah.
Dude, I've looked at Roman.
They're very good
looked at the Roman
recreational.
swipes, man.
Oh, yeah,
I had never had sex without a condom. And I found out.
Whoa. Never?
Not until I met my girlfriend now.
Okay.
And I realized that I have premature ejaculation. I couldn't come before, like, with a condom hardly. And then I realized I'm like,
no one can.
It's probably just a conditioning thing at that point. Like your body's used
but
to
we've been
thing.
going to it for so long, and I still, like, to this day, it's like, depending on the day, I'm like, look, baby, you may get, we may fucking really let this shit ride, or we may get 30 seconds and call it a day,
Yeah.
And so I looked at the Roman because I heard the swipes are great. I used to use some spray back in the day. You spray it on, but then it would get on to her, and also like you hear the sound. But like I heard the Roman, you can kind of just rip them and then wipe,
Quick
and then
wipe.
you're going out of town. Yeah,
you're good to go.
Sometimes you gotta just look, man. You gotta make sacrifices in life.
Yeah.
No, it's not even. I mean, it's just a medical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if your fucking ankle is broken, you wouldn't like somebody would be like, "Hey, you got a cast on?" You wouldn't be like, "Oh man, sorry."
Yeah.
Like no, it's a fucking cast on your dick.
Yeah.
But with the gaper, do you use the wet wipes or the toilet paper then? You got to go wet wipes, right?
Oh, he's
I
using
have
a
to-
beach
I have to
towel
go
in that
wet
asshole.
wipes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go wet wipes, and it's I shit on myself quite often too. It's so funny because I have women that are attracted to me at shows and stuff, and they just go, "I want to be like to be with you," and I'm like, "Well, I don't think you you really don't know who I am as a person. Like I shit on myself, I'll say at least once a month, you know?
Ooh, that's 12 times too many.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, you get one a year.
What's the issue is like, you know, normally like y'all have like floodgates, you know? So like y'all have floodgates. Imagine if there was just no floodgates. I get flooded every year. And so every month I'm coming through and I can't stop it. And, you know, I wear Duluth underwear, though. So when I do shit on myself, it holds it in very well and it doesn't leak or anything.
Okay.
Shout out to Duluth, promo code Rocky.
Sure.
I like Duluth.
They're the best. They really, because like they don't let the liquid leak out.
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
I'm not talking about the underwear. I just like the company in general. But I'd take your word for the fact that it's a fucking quasi diaper.
I'll tell you what. I'll buy a pair. Duluth, I'll buy a pair and leak out in them one day. Just to do, I want to be in solidarity with you. Yeah.
It's just because, you know, it's nothing I could stop. It's not like I didn't choose this asshole.
No.
Like, and I'm not going to be upset. Like, some people are born, like, look, LeBron's 6'9".
Yep.
I have a huge asshole. Like, some people are born with certain things that we're not all created equal.
Same with gang life.
Yeah.
It chooses you. You don't choose the gang.
Amen.
Yeah.
And so I'm now just taking precautions to make sure my life, you know, continues the way it is.
And so what's the conversation then with your girlfriend of like, hey, there's one dinner a month. I'm gonna have to get up and shower.
Well, we went to Mexico, and so I'm a proud American. I'm a proud American, and I will say that I'm a proud American.
Sure.
I was the lead
I don't think anybody
singer.
doubted you.
Yeah, but I just want to let them know in case they fucking did. I'm a proud American, and I was the lead singer for that. You know, and I went to Mexico, and we went off the resort, and she goes like, make sure you don't drink the water or whatever. I forgot that water is also ice. Yeah, that's a big.
That's a rookie fucking mistake.
Yeah, I know. And I went, but then I started shitting on myself day 3 for the 7 days we were there, and I was like, you know what? Like, this isn't gonna stop me from being who I am. I like ice. You know, I like margaritas, and I'm not gonna stop drinking it. So I ate street meat. Yep. And I went out and drank the ice.
You may as well go full on if you're going to do it, right?
Yeah, that's what I did.
You can only get so much dysentery.
No, we went off the resort into like the main town because she speaks Spanish. And we went to this place that cooked street meat, and they made this like fruit drink that was great out of water hose water. And I drank the whole thing. So I shit myself. The final day we were there, it was her birthday. And so I, got a cake. I paid the people, $20. They brought this big cake and everything. And at dinner, I shit myself 9 times to the point where blood was coming out. And then we're in the taxi cab on the way back, and the guy, it's Cobblestone Road in Puerto Vallarta. Okay, so it's cobblestone. So we're sitting there,
the bumping.
Oh God. So I'm shitting myself in the cab, and I tell him like, "You tell the guy to go to a pharmacy." And so we go to a pharmacy. I walk in, ladies there. I was like, "Cómo se dice Pepto-Bismol in Espanol?" And the lady goes, "Are you trying to ask me what Pepto-Bismol is in Spanish?" And I go, "All right, you're from California. Okay, cool." And then she goes over and she goes, "We have Pepto-Bismol and we have Pepto-Bismol diarrhea. Which one would you like?" And so I was like, "I'll just take the diarrhea, I guess, if that's which one you would recommend," trying to tell her shit on myself. I drank half the bottle. So we wake up the next day to fly out. We get to the airport. I'm sitting there. My ass is burning. I'm like, damn, my ass is burning. But I hadn't shit myself in a whole day, which is, good. Yeah. And I'm sitting down at the airport waiting for the flight to board. I kind of reach through my pants, and I pull out black tar shit. I'd shit myself at the airport, and my asshole was so numb, I didn't realize I'd shit myself. Oof. So I go into the Puerto Vallarta airport, and I'm cleaning myself off, and I rinse some paper towels and stuff, and I just throw the underwear away because there's little trash cans in every stall in Puerto Vallarta because they know you're going to shit on yourself. Sure. And I threw it away and then rode back all the way from there to Vegas with a bleeding asshole. But one thing I'll say though is I love America, and I will not let dysentery, that's what they call it, or the revenge of whatever, hold me back from fucking drinking my margarita with ice in it.
And it strengthens a relationship because if she stayed with you after that,
oh yeah, for sure,
going through all that, like it strengthens a relationship. I remember going down. I was dating somebody in college, and we went down to Mexico for spring break. Right. And same thing, same morning. Right. Ice was the one that got her too, and go back to the hotel. She needed a trash can because she was shitting and puking at the same time.
There you go.
And so
just get in the bathtub at that point.
Well,
and make a fucking video out of it and get famous on the internet.
Problem was there was only a stand-up shower in there. Yeah. Or else there's nowhere to sit or stand or any of that stuff. Yeah. And so she had to ask. She had to ask, and she was like, Roz, I need you. Yeah. I need you. And I was like, she's like, don't be grossed out. And she was like, there's nothing I can do. And she was like, I need you to give me the trash can from out in the room or whatever. did it, and I don't care. I'm a dude. I've seen the most disgusting shit in the world.
Right.
And then the next morning, she was like, "Does that change our relationship?" I was like, "No, not at all. Like that's what happens."
I think you should have gone in and shat next to her.
Yeah.
That would have been the move, right? To show her, like, not only am I down with taking care of you, I'll take on. I'm John Coffey from the fucking Green Mile, bitch.
We had a listener send in a picture of him and his wife. I think they were in Japan on toilets that were facing each other, and they had the grip. You know that mean grip of like
what's it? Predator.
Stallone? Yeah, Predator grip.
Yeah.
They were doing that on the toilet facing each other, taking a shit, and I was like, "That's love. They'll be married forever."
I have a weird thing though. You know, she still loves me after that. I mean, we're in a huge fight right now as we speak. But
over what?
Man, just a bunch of shit. We'll tell later. But we're in a huge fight, and we'll make it through. She still loves me, but I don't know, man. I don't mean to sound misogynistic here. I don't mean to, and if I do, I do apologize.
We're against the suffrage act, so you're fine here.
Everything before the butt is bullshit. Let's get to it.
Yeah,
I don't think women should be allowed to fart, and I'll say that, and I understand that. You know, that actually was in the Green Air Act that was passed on to Biden. He did sign on that part. I don't think women should be allowed to fart. I don't know, because like I paid most of the rent with my girlfriend most of the time we were there. And, you know, I take out the trash. I've gotten guys out of her face. I've taken care of her. I change her oil. I change her tires. I don't think that she should be allowed to fart in front of me because I view her as a baby angel.
Sure.
And she shits like a fucking rabbit. She shits
like little pellets. You mean?
The fucking pellets.
That's
dude.
weird.
When she flushes the fucking toilet, it looks like a bunch of BBs at the bottom when you go hunting with your dad. And I'm like, bitch, like, can you?
She needs to drink more water.
I know.
She needs to
find someone else. I mean, it's like, it's really annoying to me that she has to flush 3 times to get those fucking pebbles out.
Well, because there's nothing that's taking it with.
Yeah.
There's no raft.
There's no weight to it,
no.
You know? And that's like mine. Like when I shit, it's impressive. It's like honestly amazing. And her shits are like little like pebbles, and it really annoys me. And I told her, I was like, look, if you fart in front of me, or if you shit pebbles in the toilet again and don't flush twice, I'm going to stop paying, my portion of the rent, and you can live here on your own. Yeah. You know, and because she lives in Vegas right now, and I live in Kyle, and I still pay for, some of the bills.
Sure.
And I was like, look, you have to understand, like, I'm not trying to be rude, but if I'm going to do all this stuff for you, then, like, if you want to shit in the toilet and leave pebbles, then you can tell the guy not to touch your ass. Like, you can do that. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's not too much to ask.
What
like,
was the response from her?
It's just a social contract.
We broke up. No, it's just a fucking. It's being respectful to each other. Because when I shit, dude, it's a fucking process. I shit, flush 3 or 4 times, plunger, the blue stuff around the edge, wipe, come back down. It's a whole thing.
There's a question from the audience. Why are you looking at her shit in the first place?
I have to go to the toilet when I walk to the toilet.
Oh, she's leaving the turd.
The pellets are left. I'm not going in and checking after.
No, the pellets are just left.
Legs like, hey, what's going on down there?
No.
What are you
the
doing?
pellets are just left.
Yeah, no.
Because one flush isn't going to do it because there's not enough weight.
Does she not know how to operate a toilet?
Dude, but it's not. One flush is not enough. There's no weight to it. You got to go 2, and some people don't want to wait.
But also, it's like my thing is that's what I'm saying. And also, the biggest thing is she won't turn on a fan. That's a fucking killer for me.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if she respects me as a man. For real, I think she has daddy issues, and I think she doesn't want to. I think she wants me to break, and she's almost broken me a few times.
Let me push back on that one a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Those fans are made to get steam out of the room and not smell.
No, we don't. This is our old house.
The particulates. No, I'm talking about all
fans
forever.
Yep.
Like the particulates that would be in your shit that would be up in the air are too heavy to get sucked up.
You got to get a Febreze.
Serious?
Yeah, that's the truth.
No, you need poopery. You put it in the toilet, you shit down into it, and it's oil-based. It grabs on. It creates a cocoon around the poo, right? That smells.
Do you know what
good.
poopery is?
Let me just. I do know what poopery is. There's one thing though. I've been to the show. We've been here going on for whatever an hour it says.
Yeah.
I've listened to the show before.
Sure.
I mean, I am mind blown.
Yeah, it's
because
rough.
you were talking about training fucking parrots to have sayings like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now you have just blown my mind. So none of the fans. Turning on a fan is useless then.
Useless.
Well, it's if you're
it's
in
a
the
mental
shower,
thing.
No, there's no shower. It's just one of the bathrooms with the toilet and the fan.
No, that's stupid. No.
Yeah, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing.
Have
you
mind blown right now?
The next time you're in a toilet like that, turn the fan on and see if it actually stops the smell from happening.
I don't know. Maybe it's a placebo effect.
It is.
The fan makes me think that there isn't a smell.
It is.
Maybe, yeah. Like the sound of the fan turns off your olfactory sense or something.
Bro, I swear to God, dude. Am I here with Neil deGrasse Tyson right now?
Well, he was on the show.
Yeah, but
we could have asked him. He was on the show a few months ago.
What's in that fucking weed, dude?
Look, I'm autistic. That's the real answer.
Okay.
But, yeah,
you'll get through it, man.
I also happen to know a lot about shit.
Yeah. I mean,
not as much as you personally.
Yeah.
Well, being in the military, you guys used to shit on top of each other over and over and over again. Yeah. So, like, my shit everything.
Mine looks like Olympus Mons, that big fucking mountain on Mars.
Yeah.
It's just it's a pile.
I thought that was a rest from the WWE.
It should be.
Why not?
That'd be a good fucking
That'd be a great
name. It'd be a good one. I had a buddy in college. His were so big. His mom had to design a poop axe.
Yeah.
And that's what they call it. So she got so tired of calling plumbers and everything else.
Yeah, you got to chop up the turds
You had to chop up the turds and then flush.
I mean, you can use one of those bamboo fucking cooking utensils, but that's embarrassing. Because if you go into somebody's bathroom, you're like, hey, why is the cutlery in here?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to raise a red flag. But if it's some weird device, people will just think you got a handicap. And they won't bring it up because that's impolite.
My mom used to shit, clog up a toilet and throw her cigarette butts in. It was rough growing up, dude.
That'll get rid of the smell, though.
It does.
If you're smoking on the toilet.
But then she smells like a fucking trailer park, though.
Yeah, but you grew up.
Yeah, but it was a trailer park. It's supposed to smell.
Trailer parks do have a certain. You know, it's crazy. You can smell a roach. You can smell a roach. I can walk into a place and tell if they have roaches. There's a certain smell. It just smells
like a damp
menthols.
smell.
Yeah, for sure.
How hard is it to fuck in a trailer park?
Dude, I'll be honest with you.
Considering the rate at which they're breeding, it's clearly not very
clearly
hard.
not hard.
Derek White had told a story about fucking a girl in a Waffle House waitress, actually.
Yeah.
In a trailer park, and the mom was sleeping in the other room, and I was like, how impossible is that?
Nah, dude, I grew up in a trailer park. When I was 15, my mama, we got into a trailer, but we were a trailer with other houses, though. We were the only trailer, like, in the area, and she lives there to this day. So we got into a bit of a nicer area. But I had sex in the woods a bunch growing up. Like, I fucked in the woods.
You don't have a choice.
often.
Now, this was with people?
Yeah. That was fucking funny.
I mean, look, you got to ask the question.
My buddy said one time, I told him I'd eaten horse, and he goes, "You eat horse?" I was like, "Yeah, I've eaten a horse." He goes, "How'd you get home?" Now, the first time I ever had sex with this, is more that been?
Yeah.
The first time I ever had sex was out in the woods behind my mama's trailer park, or mama's trailer, and we had sex out in the woods, and that was the first time. And then I had sex out in the woods again. I mean, the woods, because you don't really, in a trailer park, there is such a lack of space and sound, too. You know?
Yeah.
The walls in a trailer
it's the
park.
sound, yeah.
Yeah, you could hear every. I mean, I could fuck you in a trailer, and 4 trailers over, you could hear it. There's no sound blocking. It almost amplifies it because you got that little fan that does not suck up shit particles.
Yes.
Correct.
That's, I mean, I had a bunch of sex. And,
it sounds like you're slapping meat or patting out flautas or something.
Yeah,
right
clapping.
Yeah. There you go.
the side of the road.
Everybody knows. Then you walk out all fucking sweaty and weird.
Yeah, I had a bunch of sex in like mostly. I can't even think of the first time I had sex in a house. I was well into my 20s when I had sex in a house.
This is your fucking.
It was cars and trees.
This is your autobiography, right?
Yeah, I mean, this really is. I feel like we've got green lights, your version here.
Yeah,
for
stoplights.
For Obama, it was the audacity of hope. For Trump, it was some coloring book or something.
Yeah, for you, it's just stoplights. The light's always red.
I remember the first time I had sex with the girl that had her own place. That was wild.
Wow.
That was a wild. And she actually had like a really nice place, but I remember it was mind blowing. I was like, wait, so you don't have like even a roommate? No one's going to come in? She goes,
kudos for you for not just knocking her up out of instinct.
Yeah. That took a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh man, I got some buddies that have done that, like from my hometown, that they just found a girl and they really liked her and they knocked her up to get her to, be with them forever. And I was like, yeah, dude, like, I don't know if that was the way to go about it,
Yeah. Depends on what your financial status is.
But this one girl, the girl in Atlanta was a real estate person.
I should have stayed there. What's the girl in Vegas do? She's not a stripper, right?
No. My girlfriend now is an amazing. I've been with her the longest I've been with anybody. And 4 years.
6 weeks.
Yeah. We're waiting to see if the pregnancy test comes through. No, she works with like a video company, does like producing videos and stuff. Nothing like sexual or anything. She used to be a tango and salsa dancer.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And then COVID ruined all that. So she found this other like path where she makes these videos and stuff with this company and makes good money. And she's a great girl. I think we may move to Nashville next year.
Okay.
Yeah, closer to my family, closer to hers, and touring makes it a lot easier. And she's a great girl. And she's her family is very religious though. Like her mom goes to church 4 times a week. You know, I think volunteers at the jail the other times.
I was going to say, what's she doing the other 3 days?
Yeah, she volunteers at the fucking jail. Her mom doesn't know me, which is funny because her mom likes me, but she knows nothing about me.
Just what she's seen on the internet?
She hasn't seen anything on the internet. Her dad's seen it. Her mom has never seen anything. So she knows the Rocky that comes.
Are we talking about Catholics here?
Yeah.
See, that you got a lot more leadway with Catholics. So.
Not her, dude.
She's an Opus Dei Catholic?
Yeah, no, she's like super. She bakes a cake for Jesus for Christmas every year.
Who eats it?
You have to.
The whole family.
Does she leave it?
Great. She's a great cook.
Does she leave it out on the counter like Santa Claus or something?
No, they sing Happy Birthday too.
Yeah. Well, through Christ, anything is possible, Rocky.
Amen,
so,
baby. John 3:16.
Yeah, goddamn right.
The fucking
Black Power? Did you go Black Power with it?
Yeah, dude. You know what's going on here, baby.
Well, Black Jesus is going to really appreciate that when he comes back.
Now, her mom doesn't know me, so I told her like eventually, I'm like, hey, your mom's going to have to like, you know, watch a bit or come to a show, or she's going to figure out who I am, that I'm not this, you know, person that she thinks she knows. And she's like, "We'll cross that bridge when we get there." And I was like, "All right."
I think you just got to like bring her mom to a show and roast the fuck out of her.
Oh, right? Dude, she would hate it. She would cry.
Maybe, but that's the only way you're going to know if it's ever going to work between you and her, right?
Yeah. I don't think
I
have to cry. I think if she just came to a show, she knows I love her daughter, and that's maybe the most important thing. But
I mean, the whole show is going to be about how nervous you are about doing.
Oh, I would. That's the thing. I'm not. You know, I'm a fuck up in life. I fucked up. What's up, baby? I fucked up several times in life, so I would fuck it up on my own accord. I really would. I have no worry about anything. I'm an idiot, and I just do stuff all the time.
Just tell a bunch of jokes about shitting yourself and your ex-girlfriend who shat like a rabbit.
Her dad saw the anal stuff.
I'm sure he.
I did it on Kreischer's podcast, and he saw it.
I'm sure he likes it.
Yeah.
And the mom never saw it. I made a video right before I met my girlfriend about. I made 2. I go how to handle a threesome, and I asked a lot of girls I had sex with to rate me. And so her dad's seen both of those videos too. But me and her dad are still friends, so
that's cool.
But her mom would hate that shit.
Yeah,
her mom
would hate that shit.
Well, you know, I haven't talked to him lately. He's not at Vulcan.
Maybe it's time you go.
Yeah, he's not coming up after sets. I'm a good person, dude. I'm about to get insurance. I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, anybody who says they're a good person, he's usually a fucking shitbag.
Yeah, it's like Honest Larry's used cars.
Yeah.
Did you need to put honest in there?
You're not really that honest, Larry. Now's the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week, which is someone who has inspired you or helped you become the person you are today. Who'd you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
They're still going to be alive or passed away?
Either one?
Ralphie May. Ralphie May was...
shit. My buddy wrote his biography.
My buddy... Yeah,
Niels Parker.
So Ralphie was one of my best friends. He's the reason that I'm even here today. Gave me a bunch of opportunities, so changed my life. And I love him to death, and rest in peace.
No shit.
He was awesome, man. He fucking met me at an open mic. I went from being an open micer... I made $400 one weekend. Besides that, I made like $75 in a weekend off comedy, to doing a $5,000 theater tour 3 months later. He let me live with him in Nashville. Let me drive his cars around. I drove a BMW i9 or some shit with the sports package. I drove it to an open mic one time. It was unreal, dude. He was one of the best guys, and we argued a bunch. And then later in life, as I got older, I realized that we were arguing, but it was because he wanted me to make different decisions, and I was pushing back as a young kid. But he changed my life, man. I love him to death.
That's awesome.
That's the Drinkin' Bros.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Tell everybody where you're performing, where they can find you, and talk about your cigar here.
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, we got a bunch of dates. I'm not sure when this is.
Tonight?
Yeah.
It's live now on YouTube, and then audio's out tonight at 8 o'clock.
If y'all live in Oklahoma City, we are going to do Oklahoma City, the Looney Bin, December 19th, so Sunday. And it's a fun show. It's a super good time. Whatever you think or believe, you're going to have a good time. It's fun. And then I got next year, we got D.C., Virginia, a bunch of places in Virginia. We got Philly and Boston. They're working around with that vaccine stuff, so we don't know what's happening there. But just follow me on social media at Rocky Dale Davis, and we'll figure out what's going on. And but more or less, this is my cigar I have. If you're a cigar smoker, we're doing it through Pravada. And Christoph. So Christoph, I know that he lives in Las Vegas, the guy that was the VP of sales. And so we're friends, and I wanted to make my own cigar. And so we reached out to Pravada, who runs this great club every month. And they bought them, and now we're selling them. And they're a Robusto size, basically. They got my name at the bottom. And they're a really good cigar. They're more of a stronger cigar, so if you like lighter, I would kind of stay away. But if you like stronger cigars, they're a damn good cigar, man. They really are. And
Hell
you can
yeah.
get them at go to Instagram, Twitter, or go to Pravada.com. Search Rocky Dale Davis, and I'm on there.
Dude, Rocky, you're a funny fucking dude, man.
Thanks, man.
We
This
could
was
talk to
fun.
you for hours, man. Great show.
I
Great
love
show
it, dude.
for real, man. Come back next time you're in town.
For sure.
Well, he lives here.
I live here.
Oh, you're down in Kyle. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Damn, dude. We're always used to saying that because everybody
No
now
one's ever anywhere, yeah.
Austin's become the hub of comedy, so
Yeah.
you forget because everybody's in from somewhere now.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, there is some actual people who are from Austin who live in Austin.
Yeah. That's
Well,
bad.
if you paid attention during the show, he's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
No, I know.
But he does
Originally,
live here.
Yeah, you live here now in Kyle. So.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Guys. It's okay. I'm an Austin resident now. Depending on if me and my girlfriend break up, which we could. I may stay in Austin, but if not, I'm going to live in Nashville. But I'm glad. I would love to come back again. And I just want to say, the straight faces we kept on the asshole talk. I
You're
mean,
welcome.
That was all time.
You're welcome.
I mean, I felt like I almost started crying at how amazing that was. That was some Jesus come to Jesus moment. That was beautiful,
Well, instead
man.
of going to church this weekend, just rewatched.
Yeah. And real quick here, because we are producers do a sports show, I want to get your predictions, national championship, Bama, Alabama. Who you got here? Are you crushing dreams today on the show? Put a camera on yourselves.
Yeah. Georgia. We're going to stick with our
we picked Georgia
pick.
preseason.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're both sticking with Georgia.
Tough to beat a team twice, man.
Okay, score.
Oh, real tight. I'd call it.
24-17.
Oh, no way.
I'm going 28-24.
Okay, Rocky, what do you got? You got Bama, obviously.
Yeah, I got Bama. I think Georgia may drop that game to Michigan, though, honestly. I think we beat the fucking shit out of them, and now they're broken mentally.
Their
Their
defense is built for Michigan. Again, it was an Ohio State guy.
99.
No, it's not that. But they're a run defense.
Yeah.
So they can stop the run. That's all Michigan has.
So in the championship game, we will have. I think Matthew will still be out, but Ja'Cory Brooks, I think, will be the next great receiver at Alabama. Brian Robinson will be back. I'll say in the championship game, 42-17 Alabama.
Whew.
If it's Michigan. 58-0.
I agree.
Blow them the fuck out.
I agree.
You got to get by
Hutchinson.
You got to get by Cincinnati first.
Yeah, I was going to say, my pick's
60,
actually
120-0.
Are you going? It's here in the Cotton Bowl.
I want to. My buddies want to go.
They don't serve booze there.
I'm a
right?
fucking,
No, they do.
I'm
It's
a
at Jerry
fucking
World.
diva, dude. I went
it's
to the
at Jerry
Texas
World?
game here, and I sat in the stands instead of the. I went to the skybox one time, and that was amazing. I sat in the stands, and like it was tight, and people were standing up. I don't know, man. I kind of like just smoke my cigars and watch at home, but I may go. I just wish I could. I want to fucking sit with the fucking rich people that all hate me, but I hate sitting in the stands. It's fucking uncomfortable. I have scoliosis and shit, so I hate it, dude. So I don't know. But if Cincinnati will beat them by 60 points. And if it's Michigan, beat them by 50. And if it's Georgia, beat them by 30. This year's, it doesn't even count. This is over.
We got a guy, Lázaro Lopez. We're sending him there. Tickets are remarkably cheap for that game.
Remarkably cheap.
Yeah, but there's also
crazy.
There's also like 80,000 of them. Usually you don't get
Right.
that for
That's
this
a good
game.
point.
You know what I mean? Unless
That's
it's
a
the
great
Rose
point.
Bowl or here.
It's Bama Cincy, and I think everybody thinks it's going to be 50 to fucking 8.
Probably.
So we'll see.
They
But
have
if
no
you got
chance.
to think that Cincinnati fans want to go though. This is their only shot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
they're all gonna.
they'll
That's the
be
reason
there.
My buddy wants to, but also people forget Brian Robinson wasn't healthy in the Georgia game, and he still ran for yards. He had a broke fucking ankle or whatever. Like he'll be fine.
The line is 13.5. They're begging you to take Bama.
I'll bet that. Dude.
I know.
I'll use my bookie.
Yeah, exactly. MyBookie.com. By the way, the last time it was 13.5, I was at the game. It was LSU, Oklahoma. LSU won by 90.
Yeah.
So, take it for what it's worth. Rocky Dale Davis, great
you,
guy. Follow his stand-up. Go see him when he does a live show, and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go to his Instagram and follow him. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast.